Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to go through is I'm going to show you one insanely effective balance exercise that will help you improve your balance immediately. And if you do this over time, it'll help you sort of achieve some dramatic gains in your balance. Now, for a lot of people, that's a pretty significant statement because as we get a little bit older, it's very common to feel like your balance starts to get worse. And that can be for a number of reasons. In order to understand sort of how to improve your balance with one simple exercise, we just need to talk about what balance is. And generally, balance consists of three systems within the body all working together to keep you stable and upright. The first is your vision. Balance requires you to be able to see what's going on, to orientate you in that visual field. The second one is your inner ear. It sort of helps us know what's up and down. The third one is a thing called proprioception. Now, if you're not aware of what that is, proprioception is your body's ability to tell you where it is in space without looking at it. So if I have my hand behind me, I know that my thumb is down, I know that my thumb is up, I know that my elbow is bent and my elbow is straight and my fingers are out and I've made a fist. Your body uses this sort of joint sense to again help you correct your balance and maintain balance day to day. Now, what we don't realize a lot is, and this is going to tie into the exercise that we're going to go through in a second, is one of the crucial parts of balance is that proprioception. And what we find clinically is the stiffer your joints are, the worse your proprioception tends to be. So when we look at the balance and we look at the ankle, the exercise that we're going to go through isn't actually a balance exercise where you just stand on one foot and balance for a predetermined amount of time. It's going to be an ankle mobility stretch. And you'll hopefully see what I mean in a second. But before we get to that stretch, what I want to talk about is we want to make sure that you have a baseline to compare it to. So what I'll ask you to do, and please comment below with this, is before you try this stretch, on one foot at a time, just balance on one foot, time how long you can do it for, and just take a mental note of how that feels. Did you feel really wobbly? Did you feel pretty steady? Did you fatigue? Write that down. Let us know in the comments of how long that was, and then do this exercise. And we're going to do the exercise very shortly. Once you've done that, then redo your balance again and compare it to what you had beforehand, because we need to see a discernible change for you to feel like it's effective. And I'm confident that when you do this exercise, you should feel immediately more balanced, regardless. And it doesn't matter how good or bad your balance was to start with. This should help you feel more balanced straight away. So let us know in the comments below. So what is the stretch? Now, we've seen this stretch before. So it involves using a band. So we know you can use a power band like these. You can get these from any sporting goods store. I'll leave a link in the description so that you can see what they are and where you can get them from. But ultimately, you can use anything that's got a bit of an elastic quality to it. An old inner tube of a bike tire, TheraBands, stretchy exercise bands. The power band tends to work really well because it's a strong, sort of brutal band you can stretch with. Now, in the exercise we're going to do, it's the banded ankle stretch. So we want to make sure that you have your ankle in the band. We want to have the band going behind you, and we're going to stretch that out as far as you feel comfortable. And I'm just going to get you to bend your ankle. So how this looks from the front, if I turn around, so we can imagine that the band's going behind here, is if your ankle joint is stiff, and to be honest, most people's ankles are stiff in this modern world, what you'll find is when you bend your ankle, if your ankle is stiff, your knee will it'll reach a point where it reaches that stiffness, and then it's going to try and find a way around that if you need to go further, or if you want to go further. So we often see that your knee takes this path of least resistance and often tracks inwards. That can cause people to turn their foot out. It collapses your arch, it rotates your knee, impinges your hip, or puts them in a position to compromise your hip function instead of being out in a stable shape. So we want to make sure that your foot's planted flat on the ground and straight, and that your toes stay on the ground, but your knees rotated out as far as you feel comfortable. So we're not necessarily taking your knee out in this direction, we're almost trying to get it out in this direction, out towards your little toe, or however far you feel you can do. And we're going to hang out here for 30 seconds to a minute. Spend some time with the band, pulling that deep joint stiffness apart, getting to that deep ankle joint capsule. It's really important because, as we were saying, the stiffer your ankle joint is, the worse your proprioception tends to be. It sort of diminishes and dampens your body's ability to know where it is in space. It's often one of the reasons why we say that the upper back and the back in general doesn't have great proprioception, and it doesn't sort of when in relation to other areas, but it's often worse than it should be because it's stiff at the same time. So as we said, once you've done that, what we then want you to do is just balance again. And what you should hopefully find is not only should your ankle feel a little bit lighter and a little bit looser from a mobility perspective, it should also feel easier, more stable, more calm. You shouldn't feel like you're wobbling all over the place if you were before. You should just feel like it becomes that little bit easier. So as I said, hold me to this and please let us know in the comments, but you should feel like it's easier straight away. And it's a really important exercise to do because if you do feel like you're a little bit older and maybe your vision isn't perfect, your vestibular system is a little bit challenged, it's not optimal, this is some low-hanging fruit that you can take off the table as much as you can be bothered doing to see significant, tangible results in your ability to balance, all from doing something that isn't a balance-specific exercise, but it feeds into one of the crucial systems that control your balance. So as you can hopefully see with me, hopefully there's not too much sort of obvious wobbling happening. I don't feel perfect, but I feel like it's a little bit easier and a little bit more stable than it was before. So please give that a go. Let us know how you went. We'd appreciate it if you leave a like on the video, and if you're new, please subscribe. It really helps these videos meet more eyes. It helps more people find this content, which is hopefully useful, actionable content that you can put to good use. If you know someone whose balance isn't fantastic, either tag them in this or please share the video to them so that they can see how simple it can be to make some inroads into your balance, so you're not feeling so stressed about those sorts of things. So again, please keep in touch with us. We're bringing out these videos daily, so please follow along if you're enjoying the content. And until tomorrow, we'll see you then.